Today, I'm going to talk specifically about, in my opinion, one of the easiest ways to add anti-inflammatories into your life. This is one video out of an inflammation series that I'm doing this month. Otherwise, this video would be hours long, and so I thought I'd break them into a few. Spices. I truly, deeply believe and have generations of family members who can vouch for this and have practiced it, that spices can be used effectively to heal and protect your body. Everybody is so different, and health is so much more than just a number on the scale or a specific body shape. I have learned so much about my body and what it's capable of since I've been using Whoop. It is a wearable, screenless device that helps give you insights on everything from your sleep, your strain, and your recovery. They use the measure of strain instead of something like steps because they found it's actually a more accurate depiction of activity. What I love most about Whoop is that it personalizes these insights based on your individual data and needs, rather than giving the same recommendation to everybody. It also has this great journal feature that monitors daily behaviors that could be affecting your sleep and recovery. I've spent nearly a year studying these insights for myself in order to really understand my body on a deeper level. It's helped me move more, push myself, reach goals, and be more mindful of my sleep patterns. And honestly, just be a lot more attentive to what my body needs. I'm feeling more empowered, stronger, and well-rested with these tools. Our health is a lifelong journey, and taking small, actionable steps every single day with the help of Whoop can help you accomplish these goals a little bit more easily. Use this link to learn more about Whoop and join the community. I use my spice box every single day as my medicine box, and I have never turned back. I think I've been using spices since I was in my mum's womb to heal my body. And I think we have this really bad habit in our culture where we wait to have a condition or we wait to have a disease before we treat it, when actually we could use what nature provides us with to prevent ever even getting to that point of disease or a health condition. It's all the little things that we do every single day that can make such a huge difference. Your body is always trying to protect you. You may not have realized, but inflammation is our protective mechanism. It's your body sending you a warning when your immune system is compromised, when you get hurt or injured, even when your body is stressed. So many of the common diseases or long-term health conditions are because of this chronic or constant long-term inflammation in the body. Everything from heart disease, cancer, to autoimmune disorders like arthritis or Alzheimer's. That's why what you eat and how you live daily can make all the difference to either contribute to the inflammation or help to reduce or remove it. According to Ayurveda, and for anybody who doesn't know what Ayurveda is, Ayur means life and Veda means knowledge. It is the most ancient health science to ever exist, and therefore I have a theory that anything that generations have passed down, anything we get from our grandmothers and their grandmothers before that, there is so much substance and fact to that, versus having, taking something which has been around for a year or maybe even 6 months or maybe even 10 years. Compare that to generations of information and healing things that have been passed down over and over again. And so Ayurveda is just that. It is, like I said, a 5,000-year-old practice or science, all about how nature can heal our body, how to balance what's external and internal to create harmony in the body. And so according to Ayurveda, inflammation is an increase of heat in the body, which if you think about it, makes complete sense. And a key principle in Ayurveda is that like increases like. So what does that mean? It means that to reduce inflammation, we have to increase the foods that have cooling effect on the body and the mind. And I say mind because even anger, stress, or any emotions that build in the body can create inflammation. The first video was all about the general foods that create inflammation and reduce it. There were some surprises in there for sure. And in the upcoming videos, I'm going to be sharing an anti-inflammatory meal plan and lots of recipes that can help you stick to your anti-inflammatory diet. So look out for those in this month too. There are so many medications out there for inflammation these days. But what if I told you that just by adapting your diet and opening your spice cupboards just a little bit more, you can make a world of a difference? Spices and herbs are so rich in antioxidants. These are little compounds that help to reduce inflammation in the body. And there are so many, but I'm gonna share my top 5 with you in hopes that it encourages you to keep exploring your spice cupboards for yourself after you watch this. First up, we have turmeric. Turmeric is an anti-everything. It's anti-inflammatory, it's antifungal, it's antiseptic, it's anti-disease, anti-everything. It will basically make you feel superhuman. The main antioxidant in turmeric is called curcumin. Completely different from cumin, just to be clear. You may have seen this in a supplement or tablet form. Nowadays, you can get it in liquid form, in a capsule, in a latte. There's so many different ways that you can have it. But studies have found that curcumin actually has the power to block the activation of the genes that promote inflammation in the body. Isn't that so cool? I kind of imagine it being like a football or soccer game and all the inflammation is coming towards it and it's like, block! It's basically a goalie in a football game. So every time inflammation is coming towards you, it's acting like a barrier for you. There's a few different ways that you can find and use turmeric. So the first one is in its original beautiful form. You can add this into your juices, your curries, boil it in some tea. My mum even makes this incredible pickle from it. She grates it up with some carrots, some apples, and pickles it. And she has it on the side of all of her meals. It's a really easy way to get it in throughout the day. Make sure you're wearing rubber gloves because that turmeric stains everything. Secondly, you can get it as a powder. Now, this can be used in similar ways to the fresh root. I'd say it's probably the most popular form of turmeric that you'll find. You can get it in all your supermarkets, all the stores, and on Amazon too. I personally love making turmeric milk or a turmeric latte and adding it into my dips or sauces. I make this really delicious turmeric tahini sauce, and it's usually my dressing or my dip on a daily basis whenever I want a little snack. I should also remind you that most spices are activated by fats, so that means you should saute them in some oil or make sure that the meal that you're adding it to has some sort of fat. So just adding it into water won't be as effective and won't absorb as deep into the body. Next up, we have black pepper. Black pepper has a compound in it called piperine, which has incredible antioxidant properties too. Piperine actually increases the absorption of curcumin, which is what I just mentioned. It's in turmeric, and it's found that it increases the absorption up to 2,000%. So that's why it's recommended to take turmeric with your black pepper. You can sprinkle black pepper onto your avocado toast and pretty much onto anything savory that you eat. I personally sprinkle it into my lunch and my dinner. It's such a versatile spice and it adds a really nice kick to the food too. With spices, I always recommend getting them in whole form. And if you do want them ground up, grind them up yourself. Spices actually lose a lot of their properties, their smell, their pungency, the vibrancy of their flavor and color. They usually lose that once they've been ground up. And so if you think about the quality of the spices that you get when they're ground from a store, you don't know how long they've been like that for. So buy your spices whole where possible, and then use a pestle and mortar or use a blender to just grind them up. You can also use a coffee grinder to just grind up your spices from whole. And I guarantee you, especially when it comes to things like cardamom and the stronger smelling spices, there is nothing that compares to freshly ground spices. You will taste and smell the difference. Oh, and your body will feel the difference too. Number 3, we have cinnamon. So cinnamon is actually a sweeter spice. You've probably tasted it in your apple pies or your crumbles in winter, maybe even in your chai latte that you get from Starbucks. Cinnamon is again, of course, rich in antioxidants, as are all of these spices. And the antioxidants in cinnamon are so strong that sometimes they're used as a natural food preservative. It comes in so many different forms. I like to use the bark in my apple and cinnamon tea. You chop up the apples and then you pop it into some water, boil it with the cinnamon sticks and some fresh ginger, and it is so yummy. Also, apples are so great for digestion. So usually I boil the apples and I eat them too. You can find cinnamon in powder form, and that's the form you'll usually find used in desserts. Right now it's summer, and so I've been indulging in more berries and a colder breakfast. So I love to do a yogurt on the bottom with some berries on top, which by the way, are packed with antioxidants. Blueberries are definitely one of them. And so I add the blueberries on top with a little bit of granola and sprinkle some cinnamon on top. It is so delicious. In the evenings, I like to add it into some milk with a little bit of nutmeg. Nutmeg actually has some sedative properties, and so it will help you sleep too. But you can stir it into your morning porridge, your smoothies, drink some chai, or even add it to some cheeky pancakes. You'll also find most of these spices in tablet or supplement forms. They've pretty much turned everything possible into tablets now, so you have no excuse not to take them. I'm kind of cheating on this next one because it's a 3-in-1 spice combination, but it is my absolute favorite. I've been taking this spice blend for about 10 years now, and I am sure that it is the reason why I have had better health every single year. In Ayurveda, this spice combo is known to be the queen of all spice blends. It's cooling, it's balancing, it's cleansing, it's nourishing. It is the one and only CCF. That's coriander, cumin, and fennel seeds. If you're pregnant, by the way, you can just omit the fennel seeds and use coriander and cumin instead. I use this blend in 2 ways. They're always stocked in my spice cupboard. The first one is a whole seed mix in equal parts. So you do an equal part of coriander seeds, cumin seeds, and fennel seeds. I usually do a cup of each and like to store it in a big batch because I go through it so much. I take half a tablespoon of this in a cup of water and I drink it in the morning as tea on an empty stomach. You can even drink it throughout the day. And honestly, as the weather is getting warmer, it's a perfect drink to have, especially when you feel the heat increase in your body. If you get things like heartburn or acid reflux, this CCF tea will really help to cool your body down in this warmer season. This blend has helped so many of my friends whenever they've struggled with conditions like this. I've always recommended it, and I've pretty much not had one person say it hasn't helped them in some way. You can also grind it up into a powder. Once ground, I add it into everything from my curries, my stews, my marinades, my dals, all sorts. It works in so many different things and adds such a great flavor to it too. Next up, we have ginger. Ginger contains more than 100 active anti-inflammatory compounds, more than 100. Basically, it is absolutely badass at fighting inflammation. Ginger you can get in a fresh whole form, and you can grate it, blend it, boil it, sauce it. It reminds me of the song, Swing It, Shake It, Move It, Make It, Show Me How Good You Are by Spice Girls. It felt really right there. Honestly, the most annoying part about ginger, I find, is grating it. And so I like to grate up a whole bunch at the beginning of the week or grind it up in the blender with a little bit of water into a paste. So it's easy to use every day and I don't have an excuse not to use it. Ginger powder is another form you can find, and you can add that into your hot, warm drinks or make yourself a little sticky ginger pudding. I'm gonna give you one more as a bonus, because if you made it this far into the video, I can tell you're pretty serious about this and deserve a little extra. I didn't want to add in too many things that were unfamiliar. I wanted it to be something you probably already have in your fridge or in your cupboard. But adaptogens are incredible plant extracts that help your body and mind adapt to the internal and external stresses that we get every single day. So I thought I'd choose my favorite adaptogen, ashwagandha. It's probably an adaptogen you've actually heard of because honestly, it's having its moment in the world right now. Although it's been around for a while, the world finally knows about it. Inflammation actually often begins in our mind. Whether it's being assertive, whether it's being really goal-driven, whether it's getting angry and emotional. What happens in the mind affects our body too. And so ashwagandha helps to calm the mind without sedating it. It leaves it clear and grounded and feeling inspired and calm. Ashwagandha is a tonic that actually helps to keep the body strong, and it counters overexhaustion. You can get it in powder form, where all you have to do is add a quarter or half a teaspoon into a cup of milk, or you can get it in supplement form that you can just pop in with your vitamins in the morning. Obviously, there are so many different ways to use these spices. You could make a huge concoction with all these spices and just down a tablespoon a day with some coconut oil and call it a day. But it's also just nice to add them into your daily meals and drinks and find fun, different ways to use them. I hope this was useful, and you can continue to use your spice box as your medicine box to protect you and heal you every single day. With everything that I've shared, if you're on any kind of medication already or have any chronic issues, please make sure you consult your health professional or doctor before using them. Look out for the next video on this inflammation series, where I'm going to be sharing easy anti-inflammatory recipes and a meal plan using all these spices too.